Hello and welcome back to Venture Vibes, Management Theories Redefined. We are back with another video on Goal Series. In this video, we will discuss the mission, its definition, key components, example, and its importance. Before we begin with today's video, we would like to thank you all for the constant support through subscribing and liking our content. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. If you find our content insightful and empowering, don't forget to give us a thumbs up by liking the video. We value your feedback immensely, so feel free to share your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. Now on today's video. As we proceed with today's video, we'll begin with the definition of the mission statement. So, if we try to understand the mission statement is a concise, comprehensive declaration that outlines the fundamental purpose, value, and identity of an organization. Now, here, when we talk about this definition, we are talking about it is a concise statement, but it is very comprehensive, where it talks about the declaration in terms of outlining the fundamental purpose. Now, when we talk about the fundamental purpose, the basic objective behind the existence of the organization is the fundamental purpose. Next, we talk about the values, that is, on which values the organization foundation is happening. And third, that is the identity of an organization. Now, identity of an organization, that is through which the organization will get recognized. So here, with respect to the definition, there are two important points. That is, it serves as a guiding document that communicates the organization's reason for existence, its primary objective, and the principle that underpin its action. Now here, when we talk about it is a document that guides and it communicates the organization's reason for existence. That is what we have talked about. It outlines the fundamental purpose. It gives the reason for the existence. Second, we have talked about the primary objective. Primary objective is for which the organization will thrive to achieve the things or the target that the organization looks for, and the principles that underpin its action, that is the value system on which the organization will thrive. Second point with respect to the mission definition is a well-crafted mission statement conveys the essence of an organization and provide a framework for decision making, strategy development, and stakeholder engagement. So now, as we have talked about, it conveys the essence of organization. It provides the purpose of the existence. It is helpful in terms of getting with the decision making and strategy formation, and it also helps in terms of engagement of the stakeholder in a more appropriate manner. Further moving ahead, let's quickly discuss the key components of a mission statement. So key components, we have 3 points. Number 1, the purpose and identity. Number 2, values and principle. The third is scope and impact. So now purpose and identity, as we have already talked about the definition, that the mission statement gives the purpose for the existence of the organization. So it clarifies that why the organization exists and what it seeks to achieve. So what is the purpose behind which the company has been formulated? Second is values and principles. Now, a mission statement often includes the values and principles that guides the organization's action. So it is more of like a founder when get up with the organization's idea, they will have a clarity and the vision, and they will visualize the future for the company. And with that vision, they also considered some of the important parameters in the form of principles and the values that will guide the actions of the members of the organization. The third is scope and impact. When we talk about the scope and impact, the mission statement can outline the scope of organization's activity and impact it aims to have on its stakeholder, community, society as a whole. So here, when we have considered the scope, we need to focus in terms of like on what variables the organization will be able to have an impact. So there are different stakeholders. A business is always being impacted by many variables, maybe your distributor, customer, shareholder, community, public, society, religious group, government, etc., etc. So all the stakeholders' interests need to be taken care of, and that is the scope and the impact has been defined with respect to the mission statement. Moving ahead with the examples of the mission statement, let's quickly discuss the example. First example is from Google: to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So now when we talk about the Google's mission statement, Google is in the search engine services. So they organize the world information in such a way that it becomes universally accessible and useful. So they have taken care of different stakeholders. They have defined the purpose of their existence, and that is what the example is. Second example is from the Tesla: to accelerate the world's transition to the sustainable energy. So now Tesla is into the electric vehicle. Electric vehicle are primarily with respect to sustainable energy, and that is where they are aiming for, and that is what the purpose of the existence behind the Tesla. Then Starbucks is into the coffee cafes, and as they serve coffee, so they are talking about inspiring and nurturing the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. So it is a place where the people can come together with their neighbor or a person and can have a cup of coffee, and that is what the mission statement of the Starbucks. Now we'll quickly focus on importance of the mission statement. That is, why are the mission statements so important? So first point is they provide a clear sense of direction that the other members of the organization, apart from the top management who is involved in terms of deciding the mission statement, they will be getting more clarity about where the organization's efforts need to be diverted. Second, they guide their decision making and strategy. So whenever we have a choice, whenever we have alternative, business is always faced with the alternative and their requires and decision making. So when we have the core values defined with respect to the mission statement, it will be easier on the part of organization to get with the decision making and the strategy formulation. They third point is they foster motivation and alignment among the employees. Now when we have a purpose for the existence, with that purpose the people will work hard, and that will definitely lead to the motivation and alignment among the employees action. That is, everybody will work in synchronization, and they enhance the communication with the stakeholder. That is the fourth point. Now, as we have already talked about it, not only define the purpose of existence, it not only gives the values and the principles, but it also provides the scope and the impact, and the scope and the impact is reflected with respect to the different stakeholder. So that will bring better communication among all the stakeholders of the business. So that was for today's video. If you find this video informative and inspiring, don't forget to give it a like and share it with others who are eager to define their mission and make an impact. Thank you for joining us on Venture Vibes.